The 864th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com using promo code MMASGPN.
Howdy ho, Degenerados. Welcome to episode 864 of the MMA Gambling Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to future governance, yes, on YouTube, who crushed PFL Europe 2 along with Gumby. So this goes out to you and everyone else who tailed Gumby this past weekend, because Gumby kills, especially on the regional scene, and hopefully he's going to kill today in Bulgaria. We're virtually going to Bulgaria for the first time ever. We haven't covered an event in Bulgaria. Who am I? What's my new name? My name is Hota P, actually, is how it's pronounced. I had to look it up. AKA Jeff Fox. That would be Daniel Gumby Vreeland, the aforementioned. We are covering Brave CF today. We've covered Brave a few times. Seem to be on the come up a bit in the Middle Eastern promotion, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing about them is that, like, they've had crazy events constantly. Like, they don't draw the same attention here in the States because, like, they're happening in places like Bulgaria and the card is largely filled out by Bulgarians. But, like, they fill up crowds really well wherever they go. It's almost like a traveling octagon. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Octagon's like, what, 3 countries, sometimes a 4th, right? Like, it's like Czech Republic, Germany, and, like, they just hang out in that area for the most part. And then, like, Brave is like, hey, check this out. We're going to hit 70 countries in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, maybe they don't have, like, the local fanfare that, like, Octagon gets that, like, really pumps people up. But, like, they do massive shows. And, like, remember, this is where Khamzat Chimaev came from. This is where Ilia Topuria came from. Like, this place is constantly, you know, like, this is where before and after Shorty Torres went. You know, like, this is a organization that continuously gives us, like, big fighters, big fights. And there's a lot of talent on this card too.
Fantastic. They're Burgas, Bulgaria, which looks like a very nice city. I just Googled it. It's right on the Black Sea. Looks nice. So we should go, Gumby, right? Let's do it.
I could probably swing it. I know the play-by-play guy. So
yeah, exactly. You're telling me you the play-by-play guy. Gumby is Gumby knows him. So there you go. He will definitely be headed to Burgas. Bulgaria, we will not, sadly, but that's okay. We're going to cover Brave CF 97 regardless. It's going down this Saturday, 1 p.m. So you can have this on along with your Cage Wars, which we gave you the winning place for yesterday. We should dive into it, right? Have we talked about that hat before? Gumby?
Oh, no, this one's brand new. It was given to me this weekend. So this is Husson University, who just happens to have the best offensive coordinator in all D3 football. So, Husson University, Go Eagles.
Guess. Just take a wild guess what the guy's last name is. Who's the offensive coordinator there? All right, there you go. I knew I would be asked. You would be asked about the hat, so definitely. I didn't by Jong at the very least. So I thought we should clear that up. All right, before we dive into things, a reminder: you can get all. Maybe you don't know. Actually, maybe it's not a reminder. You can listen to all our podcasts, every podcast on the network, not just this one, by subscribing to the SGPN feed. So wherever you get your podcast, check out the SGPN feed. Make sure you hit the subscribe button there. All right, Brave CF 97. Are you doing good with Brave this year? You don't really. Do you have it broken down by promotion or not? With your,
I mean, I can sort my spreadsheet that way. I haven't, so I can't give you that answer. But also, we don't cover a lot of Brave.
No,
typically. Like, we haven't. Maybe we've done like 2 Brave shows this week. I'll dig into my spreadsheet and let you know.
And he's up almost 30 or
almost 30 units. Yeah, 29.8 going into this weekend.
And that's good enough for all of you except one person that's probably watching. hate watching us. All right, Brave CF 97. Burgas, Bulgaria, Saturday, 1 p.m. as I said. Split screen time, double device time for you. How can you watch Brave, Gumby?
I believe it's a internet pay-per-view situation. Okay, I think they're I mean, there might be like a subscription option too, but I'm pretty sure you can buy individual cards on their. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're like a Rising situation.
Right. And most of these are usually fairly cheap, and Gumby will win you more than your entry fee back. So don't you worry about that. All right, we're kicking things off with a 185-pound match. Middleweight, Plamen, Penchev. He is from. We got a bunch of different countries today because that's one thing Brave does. There's all over the place. Bulgaria. He will be fighting on his home. So Sofiane Bouafia, he is from France. They're fighting, as I said, at middleweight. I'll tell you, no odds yet, but Brave, I've seen Brave odds pretty much
they show
everywhere.
up.
Yeah,
Yep, they show up. Offshores more so than the onshore one. Offshores usually happen.
Yeah. Bouafia, 7-3, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. He also has rounds. This is his debut in Brave. He has won 2 straight and 5 of 6. Both of his past 2 wins have come via finish. He has not lost since May 2019. Used to fight at 205, 2012 Pro MMA debut, 5 inches taller than Penchev. Penchev is 10-1, 3 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been submitted once. This is his short notice debut in Brave. Don't know how long this one is. It's harder to get info on the promotion Brave size, but I believe it's short notice. He's won 5 straight fights, including his last bout via submission. He's not fought since April 2019. He's been lost in Bulgaria somewhere. He was just waiting for a promotion to come to Bulgaria. He's not lost since May of 2014. 2012 Pro MMA debut, 2 years younger than Bouafia.
This is a ridiculously hard fight to break down.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to say pick him. Because, I've got film on Penchev, but it's 6 years old.
Yeah.
But it is his last fight. Now, I've also got some, he's been doing some grappling competitions, too. So it looks like what was there before is still there. And what was there before is some adequate striking. He's a guy who can let his hands go a little bit. He's not afraid to throw kicks and stuff like that. And he's a good wrestler. Now, how good of a wrestler? Hard to tell. His competition has been awful. Even 6 years ago, the guys he fought were quite bad. And so then you swing it around, you look at Bouafia, and his competition has been pretty bad too in his wins. He's coming off of a win over a guy who's 22-45-1. Which is, first of all, an absurd record, but also a bad absurd record too. Not for anything, he got taken down twice by that guy. That guy took him down twice. Now, he couldn't hold him down, but he got him there twice. And isn't that bad enough? And really the reason why you're going to see Bouafia get taken down all the time in this fight and in other fights is just he's a striker who likes to change his stances and moves in and out. But when he does, a lot of times he gets caught with his feet on the level. He's neither standing southpaw nor orthodox because his feet are level. And when that happens and you're fighting a wrestler, there's almost no takedown defense that could ever work in that situation. If you were standing even-legged in an MMA fight, both you're susceptible to being knocked out because you're not in an athletic position and you're susceptible to being taken down. So, I don't like that, and that continuously happens for Bouafia. Then in addition to that, too, on the striking side, as I said, he moves in and out, he feints, he does things like that, but he also is, seems intent on being second. We see a lot of fighters who are I'm going to be first and I'm going to pressure forward. And that's maybe a huge asset to a lot of people. He looks to counter. And so now he's in a position where he's going to be moving a lot and trying to get in and out. And he's going to be up against the guy who probably his timing is shit, right? It's been a while since Penchev has fought. We would assume his timing is terrible. But Bouafia isn't the type of guy who's going to damage him or pressure him for that, right? Because he likes to be second. And then if he waits too long, like I said, Penchev, he wants to wrestle. He's a Bulgarian wrestler. Give him an opportunity to take you down. You might never get back up again. So for my pick here, and I hate it, and I don't know how deep I would be in on it because we're talking about probably pick 'em odds on a guy who hasn't fought in 6 years, but I'm going to take Plamen Penchev. I'd love it if he came in here as an underdog, especially being that he hasn't fought in 6 years and nobody really knows what to do with him. But, with as bad as Bouafia has been on takedowns, I can't imagine they install him as too big of an underdog. So I'm going to take Penchev, but I will be very interested in what this looks like when it gets posted.
79% on Penchev on Topology, for what that's worth. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling this isn't going to be the...
That's record-wise, though, right?
Probably.
You imagine Topology cappers here are 10-1 versus 7-3. We take the 10-1 guy. Yeah. But he's 10-1 from a different decade.
Yeah. I have a feeling this isn't going to be the fight I take the clip for episode from. We're going to be I don't like this one at all, but I'm going to pick it.
Penchev, to be fair, he could be really good. I have no idea what he's been doing other than the random grappling competition.
Yeah.
And when he fought before, yes, he fought absolute soda cans, right? But he fought soda cans and he he beat the hell out of him. Like, he did what he was supposed to do with him. So, like, I don't know if he's good or not, but he should be good enough to beat Bouafia.
So there you go. Proof right there. I don't know if he's any good, but all right. Gumby's got a winner for you there regardless. Let me tell you about Circa Millions. Speaking of winners, Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. You think you know a ball, then you have to enter Circa's football contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There's no rake, so if entries go above the guarantee, all extra money will go to the prize pool. Circa Million, you pick 5 teams against the spread each week, or go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. There is even the Circa Grandissimo, a $100,000 Survivor contest. You must register in person at a Circa Sportsbook in Nevada. There's your excuse to get to Las Vegas, but you can sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. So go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers for a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Obviously, they got a ton of MMA lines there for a ton of promotions as well. So head over to mybookie.ag. Use our promo code when you sign up, MMA SGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMA SGPN. All right, we are off to a bantamweight fight now. We talked about a lot of bantamweights on PFL, not PFL, Cage Warriors. Now we're talking bantamweights here on Brave. Brice Picaud, he is from France. Lasha Abramishvili, you can tell by Vili that Ishvili, he's going to be from Georgia. And he is 3-5 minute rounds, 135. Abramishvili, 9-2-1, 8 knockouts. He's been knocked out twice. He owes his rounds. 1-0 Brave. He's won 5 straight and 7 of 8. He's not lost since February 2023. He has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch, get our gear, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. He's fed at 135, 2 years younger than Picaud. Picaud is Lion Kid, 17-9 with 1 no contest, 8 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted 4 times. 1-1 in Brave. He's won 4 straight and 8 of 9. The past 4 wins, all via TKO. He's not lost since July 2023. He's a regional champ. He's fed at 145.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Abramishvili. My guess is like a negative 175 favorite here. Picaud has maybe the more interesting resume. It's definitely longer, right? He's 20-9. A guy who's fought a lot of people you've heard of. Actually, when I broke down PFL Europe last week, there were a bunch of people who had fought in Brice Picaud before. And the problem for me here is just that, like, pressure and grappling has been the weakness for Picaud. Like, he's been picked up and slammed. He looks confused when he's moving backwards. When he's able to move forward, he's definitely going to be faster than Abramishvili. He's definitely going to be the better striker. But the question is how much can he be that? Because Abramishvili, first of all, I like his wrestling. I like his ground game. I like his ground and pound. He's maybe not your typical Georgian in the fact that, like, I kind of think he likes striking first more than he likes grappling. Like, he always winds up grappling anyway, but, like, I think he prefers to start striking. And he throws, like, some weird stuff on the feet. Like, he likes an axe kick, and, he'll throw a spinning back kick. And, like, he likes to mix it up on the feet. But I think those, like, overly aggressive, like, jump knees and axe kicks and stuff like that tends to back up a striker, even if they feel more confident, right? Brice Picaud is not going to see that and be like, oh, get as close to him as I can. Because, first of all, he doesn't want to get as close to him as he can. That's where the takedowns happen. So he's just going to be backing up Picaud against the cage until he gets the moments that he needs to, either in the striking or with the grappling, because I think those are Picaud's big weaknesses. And so for me, I just think Abramishvili has enough of the wrestling, has enough of the grappling. That should make Brice Picaud's night miserable. And so let's go with Abramishvili, slight favorite.
All right, Abramishvili, lock her in. We are moving on up the card. We've got a 155 belt next. Pavel Vladev, whose topology picture looks really scary. He's like, both his topology pictures. He's yelling in the one, and the other one he's like in shadows. He is from Bulgaria. He is fighting Abou Tounkara. He is from Mali. As I said, they're fighting at lightweight, 3 5-minute rounds. Let's break her down, shall we? Tell you about Tounkara first. Yon Daimi is the nickname. It's some anime thing, I think. So all you nerds watching will definitely know. I probably said it
you're
wrong.
gone for a week, and you're like, "What can I do to piss people off the minute I
Yep.
get back?"
I probably mispronounced it too, which I'll be told. Yondaime. Tounkara is his government name. He is 12-6, 8 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out 5 times, submitted once. 1-0 in Brave. He's won 3 of 4 and 5 of 10. Not as good there. Submission loss in his last bout. 0-1 in Bellator. He's fed at 145 and 170. Vladev is the werewolf. He is a scary guy. 8-1, 8 knockouts, 1 submission. He's never been finished. He still has his rounds regardless. 1-0 in Brave. He's won 6 straight. He's not lost since November 2019. He used to fight at 145.
So I guess Vladev is probably going to be a big favorite. Both the record, the fact that he's fighting at home, the recent bad results for Tounkara. I'd say negative 315 for Vladev and like maybe plus 290 for Tounkara. And I'm going to go underdog here. I like Tounkara in this one to upset the hometown favorite. The big reason for me is what I've seen from Vladev. So like he throws his shots very wide, not fundamental whatsoever. He likes to wing things. One of the things he does before he wings them, which is weird to me because it's like a measured response from a talented striker, is he like reaches out and grabs people's hands like he's measuring the strike and trying to figure it out. But then the strikes are so wide. So like, why are we measuring the shortest distance between 2 points if we're going to wind up throwing it around the corner? It's always a weird move. So, Vladev has got some things he does well on the feet, but the bottom line is he just wants to throw with big power. And if we watch his last fight, within a minute of the first round, he's got his back taken and looks like he's in a bad spot. And in fact, he gets his back taken twice in the first round of that fight. And really the only reason he winds up winning is because the guy slid off the top and he wound up ground and pounding him from guard of all places. Again, just because he throws like a madman. And I think he's going to have trouble doing that to Abou Tounkara because look, Tounkara has been fighting high-level MMA for quite some time. If you want to go back, he fought in Octagon. He fought Ivan Buchinger, or Bookinger. You're supposed to say Bookinger. I've been saying Buchinger, but it's Bookinger. Yeah, he fought Bookinger all the way back in Octagon like years and years and years ago. And I went back and I watched that fight just to like remind myself because Tounkara, he's been losing against really, 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 really talented guys. He's been beating really, really bad guys. So like I went back and I was like, well, what would he do against Ivan Bookinger? And like, he gave up an early takedown, but he got his ass back up. And then later on in the fight, his takedown defense starts holding up better. Now, ultimately, it's a TKO on the ground that wound up getting him. But, like, he boxed with Bookinger. He got in the clinch with Bookinger and held him up against the cage. Like, Tounkara was, like, sort of a more physical presence there. Granted, not with as good a wrestling, but the better physical presence. So now Vladev comes out here throwing wild hooks and getting real crazy. I think he's going to be met with a better technical boxer. And as long as Vladev's wild hooks tire him out faster than Tounkara dropping his hips and beating some of these takedown attempts, I think Tounkara is going to be the fresher guy late too. So give me Abou Tounkara. Hopefully big underdog here.
All right. Vladev's wild hooks. There's a good title right there. Good job, Gumby. He came up with a title for the episode too. Let's see what the tapologists say.
They're going to be on a Vladev big.
96% on Mr. Vladev. So, because he hit hard, right?
He hit hard, and his record looks better.
Yeah, and he looks like a werewolf, and he is a werewolf. So there you go. All right, let's get to the co-main event, shall we? It is at 175. So a catch weight. Is that a catch weight in that? Yeah,
no,
that area or no?
No, they have a division actually dedicated to 175 in Brave. It's super welterweight.
Okay, they have welterweight and middleweight as well.
Yeah. Do they have welterweight? I don't know if they have welterweight.
Okay. Yeah.
No. Yeah, because they have super lightweight too. So the Association of Boxing Commissioners, ABC, has divisions that the UFC doesn't have. They have super lightweight, which is 165. They have super welterweight, which is 175. And then they have cruiser, which is 220 or 225. And then like some promotions have chose to like embrace those.
Yeah.
Be like, we'll have those divisions. Brave is one of them. So super welterweight is actually a division there.
All right. There you go. We have got a man from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Eliezer Kubanza. He's fighting against the UK's Jack Grant. They are fighting 3 5-minute rounds. Grant is 20-9, 9 knockouts, 10 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times. This is his debut in Brave. Win-loss over his last 3, 3-2 over his last 5, 5-5 over his last 10. 1-2 in PFL, 1-0 in Bellator. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch, get our all our good stuff. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. He's fed at 155 and 170. 2012 Pro MMA debut. 3-1 as a pro grappler. 2 inches of height over Kubanza. Kubanza is 7-0 with 6 knockouts. 4 of those fights have taken place in Brave. He used to fight at 170. He's a year younger than Grant.
I think Kubanza is going to be a pretty big favorite here. Like, let's say negative 200, 225, maybe even. And I'm going to take him in this fight. This dude is an electric striker. Like, this guy is so much fun to watch on the feet. And he does a lot of really great things on the feet. The things I like most is that he moves in and out of range really well. So he doesn't eat a lot of shots that he doesn't need to eat. And then in addition to that, too, he generates power from every possible movement. Like, he could be backpedaling and he's still generating power than most guys his size. And then if he's moving forward, the surgical striking, his ability to, I watched him knock a guy out. He threw a head kick. The guy fully blocked the head kick with his arm and was still knocked out, which is just the type of power he's generating at 170 or 175 pounds. And like Grant, look, he's been around the block. He's fought guys like Kubanza before. But my problem with Grant and why I don't think he can win this fight is that he's really predictable on the feet. I watched one of his fights and he came out and threw a leg kick. And then you could just sort of tell by the way he's standing because the first leg kick landed on his opponent. I could tell right away. I'm like, he's going to throw another leg kick.
Yeah.
And you know what he did? He threw 4 more straight leg kicks before he threw anything else. His first 5 strikes of the night were the same right leg calf kick. And 1.5 of them landed. Like, the first one landed and the second one kind of glanced off. And you can see him sort of get stuck in those modes over the course of the fight. It's like, I've seen him land a hook in the clinch and then he's just like, okay, here's 7 more hooks. I'm just going to keep throwing those because it worked. And against the guy who's crafty, like Kubanza, you throw something and it lands once and then you get stuck on it. He's measuring you up. He's figuring out how to counter that, and he's going to put you to sleep when you do it again. And, Grant, he comes from a grappling background, so some people are probably being, can he grapple him or something like that? He could, but, like, I'm seeing a lot of upper body takedowns. I know I've crapped on that all this week, but, like, the upper body trips, they work against a low level of opponent, but you have to be like very high level in judo or Greco-Roman in order to start getting upper body takedowns to work when you start fighting guys who are explosive and guys who are strong and guys who are at your level. And I don't think that Jack Grant can get these to work on Kubanza. So I'm going to take Eliezer Kubanza. My guess is a decent sized favorite, but one you could consider playing straight up because I think the knockout power is there.
All right. That is your winner for the co-main event. We'll get you the winner for the main event and some lightning round plays after I tell you about Underdog. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including a $2 million prize to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog also is a great place to play Pick'em, as Gumby will let you know right now.
So I'm going to go with, we are on Tuesday. The Braves are traveling to Oakland. I'm going to take the higher than on Didier Fuentes' strikeouts. The Braves basically have no starters left, but this guy's 20 years old, looked like absolute crap in his first outing, and has since started to prove me wrong. He's got 4 and 6 strikeouts in his last 2 games. So he's averaging 5 a game over his last 2. Going to be facing the A's. You got to imagine he's going to go a little bit higher than that even. Give me the higher than on Didier Fuentes' strikeouts.
All right. Fun name to say as well. Sign up with our promo code MMA SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credit. So underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. And you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean, data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Gumby's been using it extensively to find all his hidden gems in baseball. Right?
Yeah, pretty much anything I ever tell you about Underdog Fantasy, I'm finding over here on Rhythm because Didier Fuentes, I watched his debut, had written him off, was hoping the Braves would send him to the minors, had 40 injuries in a row, and I had missed his last couple starts. Look over there on Power Trends, and they're like, hey, get in here on Didier Fuentes, and that was surprising to me. So, you're learning even about your favorite team sometimes with rhythm.
Fantastic. And it's synergy between all of our sponsors. Gumby's got all the sponsors working together. You can get a 7-day free trial at Rhythm by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM. All right, main event time. Kaloyan Kolev, he is from Bulgaria. Mohamed Said Maalem, he is from Algeria. They're fighting 3 5-minute rounds at 205, so light heavyweight. Tell you about L'Ambiance, his side Maalem's nickname. He's 14-6 with 1 no contest, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out twice, 3-3 with 1 no contest in Brave. He's won 2 straight, 3 of 4, 3 of 6. His past 2 wins have both come via TKO. He's regional champ, or was regional champ, 2014 Pro MMA debut. Kolev is 12-1, 9 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. This is his debut in Brave. He's won 2 straight, both via TKO as well. He's not fought, though, since April 2023. He's not lost since October 2021. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirt, get our merch, get all the good stuff at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Used to fight at heavyweight, 1-1 in BKFC, 2 inches taller than Said Maalem.
Yeah, I'm going to go Kolev here. My guess is like a -200 favorite. They both kind of have decent resumes that are going to make the line closer, but Kolev's clearly the better fighter. I think the big piece for me is he does a better job, because both these guys kind of like takedowns, cage control, that kind of thing. He does a better job leading to his stuff. He's the type of guy, big overhand right into a double leg takedown. Whereas like Maalem is the type of guy who's going to paw and try to get to a clinch and then try to change levels. And it's just not as fluid as we see from Kolev. And then from the boxing standpoint, Kolev's got combinations that he kind of put together. Oh, you didn't mention Kolev was the one on Contender Series, right?
Oh, was he?
Did he mention? Yeah, I think he lost to Armin Petrosian.
Let me see.
Am I right about that?
Yes. I totally overlooked that. You are correct. His last loss was Armin Petrosian. Head kick to ground strikes.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure in that fight he had Petrosian's back for a good portion of that first round, only to get head kick knocked out in the second. Did he get knocked out in the second?
No, I'm off the screen.
Yeah. No,
yes. We'll say yes.
Yes. Okay. I think he got knocked out in the second after controlling his back for the better part of the first round. So good jiu-jitsu, has fought high level of opponents. His chin's kind of up in the air, which would worry me if Maalem was better at putting his stuff together, but he's not really. And then the other piece that we're not talking about here is Maalem he's 41 years old. And I know this is light heavyweight, but it's clear that his cardio has started to go. In his last fight, open mouth, at the very end of the first round. And you got to start to worry about a guy when he's at that stage, and he's going to be fighting a guy who's a little bit of a grinder like Kolev is. So I'm going to take KO on Kolev here. My guess is -200.
It was late round 1 for the record that he lost, but yeah.
Okay. So he controlled most of the first round, and then they must have gotten up at the end and eaten a big one. I remember he was out though, if I'm remembering correctly, because Petrosian had a highlight reel.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. All right, let's give you a recap, and then we will get you some extra bonus plays. We call the lightning round. Kolev, Kubanza, Tounkara, Abramishvili, and Penchev. All right, lightning round, zap, bang, boom, pow. Let it rip.
Speaking of Contender Series, the first one I'm going to take is off a Contender Series. I like Rami Hamed. He won his Contender Series fight. He beat Meng Ding. Do you remember Meng Ding?
I do. Yeah.
So he beat Meng Ding, but in the most boring fashion possible. And then acted all cocky about the win too. And Dana White basically resolved never to have him back or to ever watch a fight he was in. But the bottom line is he's really good. He's an MMA Masters guy. He's got a good skill set. It's a shame that he fought the way that he fought in that fight, but he's good, and I think we'll see it here too. The other one I'm going to take is the one I thought you were going to steal his name this week, and that's Mim Grub. And Mim Grub is she's new to being a pro MMA fighter, but she's 1-0 in her pro career, and the win was against Riri Hudson, who I've been a big fan of. Riri Hudson, we've talked about her a couple of times on the show. So for Mim to go on in there and beat her, I think that shows that she's kind of an up and upper, and she's going to be fighting a tough German fighter who went through IMMAF. So we might even get to find her at plus money. So I'm going to take Mim Grub, and I'm going to take Rami Hamed as my 2 lightning round plays.
All right, and all you people that blindly tail Gumby, you're going to be taking them as well. All right, we're all set for Brave. If you want more Brave plays or anything else, you can hit us up in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. On YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, please and thanks. On the old Twitter, SGPN MMA, he's at Gumby Real, and I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there, and on Instagram for me as well. Check out my Substack. Enter my free UFC Pick'em contest at moneymma.substack.com. Check out Gumby's other podcast, Top Turtle MMA. He'll tell you why you should check it out this week.
We're going to talk to two of the fighters on the main card of UFC Nashville. We're going to be talking to Steve Meme Machine Garcia, who's finally getting that big name, fighting Calvin Kattar. And then we're going to be talking to Austin Lane before his fight with Vitor Petrino.
So check it all out, Top Turtle MMA, and of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We'll be back tomorrow. The UFC is back, and so are we covering the UFC. It'll be L'Ambiance, Jeff Fox, the Werewolf, Gumby Real, and we'll talk to you then.